Why do bees create the perfect hexagonal shapes for their honeycombs when it took us 2000 years of mathematics just to prove that it's the most efficient way to store something? Today I found out about the hexagonal paradox that was being proved mathematically for thousands of years, and we weren't able to figure it out. And even though it took us as humans thousands of years to prove it, bees just naturally create their habitats and their homes from the perfect shape that is able to minimize the amount of material for the maximum amount of storage. Like, how do bees do that? There's no way that the nature just programmed them to make a 120-degree angle on every side of this wall to create the perfect shape for their purpose. And so I went into it, and I'm going to try to explain it to you in a simple way with these straws. Because if my curiosity didn't get the answer to this question, I would have many sleepless nights. And even though I don't have a perfect understanding of bees themselves, I'm going to try to explain it to you so that you can understand it very simply. The first thing that I researched was actually what is the main goal of bees that they're programmed to do naturally. And what I realized is that their purpose is to take the minimal amount of material, which is wax for them, and store as much honey in that material as possible. And this is what then will lead to the answer. Because when I was thinking about it in my head, I knew that they wouldn't be the ones that were doing all of the angles and all of the sides. Like, there's no way an animal would know the length of a side and just replicate it multiple times, right? And that thought is actually correct. Because what bees actually do is they create first the most simple shape out of all, which is the circle one, which you can see even in bubbles when you breathe out underwater. That's why bubbles are circle, because that's the most simple shape for nature to create. And so they create them circle. So when first bees create their cells, they're actually circles. But then what happens is, because they start pressing more and more cells on top of each other, and the energy that they create with their bodies and with the movement and all the energy that is there, and wax has a pretty low temperature of melting, the pushing of the other cells that are being stacked on top of each other is as if you took just a lot of these circles that they create, because this is how it looks in the beginning, and they start pressing against each other in the formation. And I don't have enough straws to show this perfectly, but you can do this experiment yourself. If you take enough straws of circle size and you start pressing them together, and they are in a bit of a moving state or liquid as the wax is, they actually start creating hexagons, because it's the most efficient way to be created, and that's what nature did. So what it actually is, the creation of hexagons, is not that bees would be programmed to do hexagons. Bees are programmed to create circles. But Mother Nature made it that hexagons are the most perfect shapes to store things, and that are the most efficient in, in the possible storage and the simplicity. So what it is a combination of double nature, the bees, and Mother Nature who created us and all. So that's again something so amazing, where science took place and was able to explain some of my thoughts, and maybe give me a better sleep tonight, because now I have the answers, and I hope you do as well. You guys really gave me a great feedback on the shorter forms, so I'm going to try to make more of these. And if you are actually more curious about this topic, I would highly recommend you searching more on the hexagons and where all do they appear in, for example, product designs, because I'm a product designer myself. I design for 3D printing, and hexagons, even that's being printed with a honeycomb infill. This was Innovitek, and to end the video, hexagons are bestagons.